So now we need to understand what vendors are in play for software applications and what role those provide in the network. If I'm in a line of business application, let's say it's Salesforce, who's my end user community for Salesforce? Do we have defined procedures set up for how we do things in Salesforce, like create new user account? What permissions are they assigned? We talked about that earlier. So we're going to, inside the onboarding process, and let's talk about that for a minute, because that's where we're going to define it. The way we approach onboarding and offboarding. Obviously, offboarding is just as important or more important than onboarding, although an employee can't start their job until the onboarding process is finished. So we employ a set of secure web-based forms to create an onboarding process for all of our customers. And so what it looks like is we sit down with the HR people, we sit down with whoever the hiring managers are, and we say, okay, do you have a documented process? And if they don't, we define it for them, interview style, right? So what this looks like is we create a form, much like you would imagine. First name, last name, reports to, hire date, employee type. This could be W-2, 1099, contractor, temp, role. So what role do they provide in the organization? These are going to be drop-down lists, right? Pre-populated with the various roles in the organization.
Right.
So let's just pick on sales for a minute, because that's the easiest. So let's say that we have a new user, John Doe. He's the most commonly employed individual in the United States. So John Doe starts, and his role is sales. So we're going to put this through a workflow after the user hits submit, right? We're going to gather a lot of other information here, like DL group membership. So we'll say, is he part of, sales outside versus sales inside, right? So we're going to gather all that information as part of this big, long transcript when this is done. So after the hiring manager submits this, it's going to go through a workflow. Whoever approves the job requisition, the HR manager, what have you, initiates their portion to say, I approve. This goes into our ticketing system, and then it starts our process for how we create new end users.